After months of waiting, we finally have the first real details and big updates for Beyond the Spider-Verse. We now have confirmed reports about a major health scare involving a key cast member, new updates about Miles joining Secret Wars in MCU, and a first look at the different Spider-Verse character movies launching. On top of that, we've got more fresh casting news, production delay updates, and more. First up, let's actually see what is actually going on behind the scenes. The official word from the studio is that they are taking a lot of tender loving care to get the finale right, a sentiment echoed by producers Phil Lord and Chris Miller. But deep dive reports suggest something much more complex. Remember the reports of animator crunch that surfaced after Across the Spider-Verse? It appears the studio has completely overhauled their production pipeline to avoid a repeat of that controversy. They are working with a more humane schedule, which, while great for the artists, not for when the movie comes out, but let me know if you would rather have a rushed movie in 2026 or a masterpiece in 2027. Moving on. Donald Glover, who plays Aaron Davis, the Prowler, recently revealed in November 2025 that he suffered a stroke and underwent open-heart surgery. Yes, guys, to clarify, the stroke actually happened back in 2024, not now. The reason it feels confusing is because he kept it a secret for over a year, when most people in cast were finishing their parts for the movie. But guys were lucky because if the film stuck to its original aggressive release schedule, Glover's stroke and open-heart surgery in late 2024 would have made it impossible for him to participate in any substantial filming or voice recording. However, with the film's release officially pushed to June 2027 to accommodate the complex animation workload, his 2024-2025 recovery period occurred during a minimal production time for his specific scenes. This timing allows him to return to the role of Aaron Davis at full health just as the studio ramps up the final integration of his live-action parts, and reports have said Donald will have a bigger role in the next movie than the last. But this isn't even the craziest news we have, because there is a big twist coming. We finally have a concrete answer about Miles Morales joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kevin Feige has reportedly issued a stay-away order regarding Miles Morales until the Spider-Verse trilogy concludes. According to fresh reports circulating this year and confirmed by industry insiders this month, Marvel Studios has been instructed not to touch Miles Morales until after Beyond the Spider-Verse hits theaters in 2027. This is massive because it effectively kills the theory that Miles would appear in Avengers Doomsday or have a cameo in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The timeline just doesn't work. With Beyond the Spider-Verse landing in June 2027 and Avengers Secret Wars scheduled for December 2027, the window is incredibly tight. Feige's comments clarify that Sony wants exclusive control over Miles' narrative conclusion before handing him over to the wider MCU. This confirms that the Spider-Verse team is operating with total creative independence, not bothered by the need to set up Secret Wars. But guys, imagine you are sitting in the theater for the movie's post-credit scene and you see this in there. What would your reaction be? Let me know below. Speaking of the wider Spider universe, we have to talk about what's happening at CCXP right now. While we wait for Beyond, Amazon and Sony are moving full steam ahead with Spider-Noir, the live-action series starring Nicolas Cage. We just got updates like right now confirming that a major presence for the show is on the floor at the Comic-Con experience in Brazil. This series is set to debut domestically on MGM Plus and globally on Prime Video, likely in 2026, serving as the perfect appetizer while we wait for the animated finale. Now, let's circle back to a detail about the music that's emerging from the shadows. We know the soundtrack for these movies is just as important as the animation, and while Metro Boomin hasn't officially announced the tracklist, the delay to 2027 gives the musical team unprecedented time to craft the music. Reports have recently said that conclusion music will be darker than the first, with the film likely diving deep into Earth-42, the universe where Miles is the Prowler. Prior to his scandal, David was heavily rumored to be contributing to the Beyond the Spider-Verse soundtrack, a role that is now likely terminated given the severity of the investigation. His case is so bad, making it virtually impossible for a major studio like Sony to keep him attached to a family-friendly franchise. While his removal wouldn't affect the film's animation or plot, it would force the music team to scrap any tracks he produced and find a new artist to fill his spot on the highly anticipated album. Let me know in the comments which artist you would want to make the music for this movie. Going back to Miles in the MCU, like I said, there's also the creative independence angle that cannot be overstated. The directors have explicitly stated they did not collaborate with anyone from Marvel Studios on the production of the trilogy. This separation is vital. It means Beyond the Spider-Verse doesn't have to follow to the confusing rules of the MCU multiverse unless it wants to. Like, for example, they don't have to worry if it contradicts what Doctor Strange did in the last Spider-Man movie. This freedom is what made the first two films so special. Moving on, the leaked release dates for Avengers Secret Wars December 2027 and Beyond the Spider-Verse June 2027 put these two multiverse titans within 6 months of each other. This creates a Year of the Spider scenario. By holding Miles back, Sony and Marvel are essentially creating a two-part event for fans. You get the emotional, animated conclusion to Miles' personal journey in the summer, and then potentially, just potentially, you get to see him in the massive Secret Wars finale in the winter. But guys, keep watching because later we have a Beyond the Spider-Verse mystery that literally no one can solve. Now for all the good parts, Andrew Garfield recently shared his excitement about possibly joining the animated Spider-Verse movies. During an interview in October 2025 with Josh Horowitz, he hinted that he wants to be involved, saying, "I really love the Spider-Verse movies, I love Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Just putting that out there." This comment has given fans hope because he went out of his way to mention the creators of the film specifically. However, he has not officially confirmed that he will be in the movie yet. Earlier in 2025 at the Middle East Film and Comic-Con, he explained that if he returns to play Spider-Man again, the story needs to be special. He stated, "It would have to be very weird. I would like to do something very strange, something very unique and offbeat and surprising." Even though rumors say Sony wants him for the role, Garfield is keeping his actual involvement a secret for now. Marvin Jones III returns as Lonnie Lincoln/Tombstone, confirming the albino gangster's expanded role in the threequel. His casting as the seventh villain suggests the Sinister Six isn't just a name, they're a functioning criminal syndicate on Earth 42. In Into the Spider-Verse, Tombstone was a minor kingpin enforcer, but his return implies he's graduated to multiversal player status. And here's the mystery that literally no one is talking about: the smiling kid who keeps appearing everywhere across Spider-Verse films. He shows up approximately 4 times total, always sporting that same disturbing smile, and almost always when Miles is present. One YouTube called Olive investigated this by asking animators, and one animator gave a particularly odd response that suggested they knew something but couldn't say more. When pressed about whether they couldn't discuss the character, the animator's reply remained evasive. The official Spider-Verse social media accounts further fueled by posting about this, adding comedic fuel to the fire while keeping fans genuinely uncertain. Guys, here's my theory: Sony just did this with the Spot. He was a laughingstock villain in 1982 Marvel Comics, literally got laughed at by Spider-Man. Directors Kemp Powers specifically chose him because despite seeming like a joke, the Spot became the trilogy's main villain because of his portal powers connecting dimensions. I think he's Spider-Side, a Spider-Man clone created by the Jackal, lacking Peter's humanity. He appears in both films looking identical to Miles. How the transformation happens. He's been a clone of Miles all along, placed in Brooklyn Vision's academy by Miguel or the Jackal to observe the original anomaly. Spider-Side can warp his body into any form, so he appears as a normal kid while secretly tracking Miles across dimensions. The creepy smile is actually a clone's flawed attempt at human emotion. Jackal is the mad scientist who makes clones. Spider-Side is one of those clones, built to hunt, spy, and stop Spider-Man. And just to be clear, none of this is confirmed by Sony. It's my theory built from comics lore, background appearances, and how the filmmakers keep dodging questions about him. In Beyond the Spider-Verse, he'll shapeshift into his true form, a distorted Spider-Man with exposed spider fangs and claws, revealing he's been hunting Miles for the Spider Society. His powers let him mimic any Spider-Person's abilities, making him the perfect assassin to ensure canon events happen. Let me know what you think about this theory. What do you guys think about the delay? Is 2027 too far away, or are you happy they're taking their time? And what do you think about Miles joining Secret Wars? Let me know in the comments. I am Brian from Cinema Surge, and I'll be covering every leak, every casting announcement, update, first looks, and details the second it drops. Make sure to subscribe.